Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode. And I'm really delighted to have today's guest on today, Bari. He's a musician, he's a creative entrepreneur, and we're going to talk about his work in music and his insights into the creative process. And it's going to be a really fascinating discussion for the creative entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurship, boils down to creativity and how you solve problems, and so I'm happy to welcome Barry to Barry. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it, man. I'm very excited to start talking about just how I even got to music, because I
Yeah.
think I think with life it just takes you down different paths. It puts a bunch of hurdles in your way, but it does not tell you how to cross them. So at some point you got to put your thinking cap on and figure out a way for you to kind of cross these hurdles yourself. And I just happen to find that through music.
Music is really one of those first entry points into the creates. It defines culture, and
hmm
then art, and then it's sports and entertainment. So what specifically drew you to music? And because I know so many creatives, they express themselves through music.
Yep. I'll say I started with music when I was in about what, middle school, high school. I did drama club in middle school. I did choir in middle school. Then I continued with choir in high school. And then after that, life. You know what I mean? So I went to college, did something completely different. And what brought me back was I was working in corporate America and I thought it was cool, but I wanted to have something outside of work for myself. And I wanted to kind of have a connection to life outside of just work and then your typical. So like a lot of other people, music was a way for me to kind of express myself and just kind of bridge a connection to the world again. You know what I mean? Because I'm listening to the beats and I'm like, okay, now I get to, hear something that I want to hear, something I think I can connect to, and something I think other people can connect to as well. And the cool thing about music is it's a universal language, so it's everybody's fluent in it. You know what I mean? Like once you hear it, you either like it, you don't, you resonate with it, you don't, you can understand someone from it, or you don't. And that's the beauty of it. There's so much to choose from, and we can just gravitate towards what fulfills us. If you listen to music to kind of maybe feel fulfilled, get a little energy, change your mood, whatever your reason for listening is, it's just one of those easy ways to kind of just understand, and kind of connect.
Yeah, I love that. And the more creatives I talk to, they can express themselves through music. It
hmm
can be through writing, art,
Right.
speaking, anything that's just like I said, it's creative. So it's how you take things and create messages through different mediums. Yeah, I love that. Talk about, walk us through your typical. I'm very interested in your insights into creative process, and what are key elements that help shape your music. And
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'll be honest with you. So I actually started recording last year, you know,
Yeah.
and it was from the first moment that I started recording, I was like, yeah, this is something I kind of want to continue doing. So the process for me, when it comes to creating and crafting a song, for example, right? I usually have three scenarios. The first one is I just woke up, I just went through my inbox, seeing what beats I had, or I went through the beats that I put together the day before. Then I'm just running through them. Whatever comes to mind is the first thing I'll say, record. You know what I mean? Just get the raw emotion. The second scenario is I already had a beat in mind, and maybe I was playing with a few hooks, melodies, and I just want to kind of record it. And the third scenario is I'm just doing something completely random in life, and magically some words come to me, and I'm like, okay, I got to either record this or find a beat that I can record that too. And a funny thing that people, I guess, don't know is I don't write anything down. I kind of just freestyle everything off the head, but I do punch in. And punch in means like you'll say a line, pause it, hear it back, and then you'll kind of press play it, not play, record again, and you'll do the next line. You can build the song that way. So
Yeah.
it's not as, I guess, intimidating. To me, it's intimidating to write a song. I don't know how people do that. Like they sit there with the pen and pad, and because I my cousin, we collaborate frequently, and he tells me all the time he's there with a pen and pad, and I'm like, I don't know how you do that, bro. Because I think that just is a little more like school, slightly tedious for me personally, so I don't do it. I just kind of go off the head. It does get a little tricky because I do have to write the words down so I know what they are. As it's straight off the head, it's just idea, idea, idea. people are very surprised I don't know the words to my songs. I'm like, well, yeah, I just freestyle it. It just comes and it goes. Like after one's done, I'm like, all right, next one.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
that's a little bit of how I create and craft.
Yeah. It's amazing. And so what we like what's in addition to that, um so how do you get inspiration? Is it like ideas like when I write an article, it's about things I want to talk about or kind of
Hmm.
what is you are you trying to inspire, motivate? Are you kind of soothing people? What style, genre? Is it hip hop or different? I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
so people are always super surprised. I don't
Mhm.
rap at all. I think I'm not a great rapper, so I just tend not to do it. I do sing a lot more, so I sing pop and R&B. Those are my favorite genres. I do also listen to a lot of lo-fi music, so if one day I could create some lo-fi music, that'd be awesome. I'm more on like the chill, relaxed side of things. Like I have friends telling me you should perform. I'm like, that's for Drake. They want to turn everybody up, whatever they want. If you just finish work, you might want to cut me on. You want to just relax. You know what I mean? But I lean into more of. However, I have been trying to dibble and dabble into other styles just to kind of keep a certain level of blanking. What's the word? Just to be I guess a little more have more variety since I can't find a different word. And I do I just kind of feel more relaxed when I'm making pop and R&B, and I think that's something I could resonate to a little more. So when you're talking about motivation, when I hear the beat, I'm either inspired by something that's happened to me in life, or I could just make up something I would have liked to happen to me in life, and then I just sing about that, and I'm like, oh, great, I'm manifesting now. So now, anyone that has like a similar interest, taste, or anything like that, you may resonate to with it, which is really cool.
How do you overcome creative hurdles like hitting roadblock or uh,
Yeah,
how do you get over that?
you know what? It's one of those things you just pray about. If I'm to be honest with you, because like before making a song, what I didn't mention is I always pray. That's number one. Always just pray. Be like, may I please find the words to complete this song? Because it's just off the head. It's whatever I feel. So sometimes I may not feel anything. I might just hear it and be like, okay, this is cool, and I'm just stuck, right? So what I do in those moments is if I listen to a beat for like 15 minutes and I don't feel anything, I'll
Mhm.
just go on to the next one. And then hopefully if I get any inspiration from that, just from what I hear, maybe past experiences or anything I'm just thinking about that day, I'll be able to express that on the beat.
Ah, I love that. Um, Talk about collaborative dynamics, and you mentioned the
Hmm.
influence of your friends. How has being
Yeah,
other
yep.
creatives shaped your approach?
Let me tell you, man, I got to start with the negative. Once they like have no reaction to it, or they're just sitting there like, okay, next one, please. Give you a little hint as to, okay, this is working, this is not working. But then on the flip side, you can easily tell really quick. Either someone will put it up louder, they'll say, oh, run that back. My favorite moment was if I take an Uber, what I love to do is just say, hey, I'm coming back from the studio. Can we hear what I just did? And some people say, oh, yeah, sure, let's put it on. I didn't know you're an artist. And some people may say, no, it's life. You rejected sometimes. But I think it's always cool to just give the music that car test to see how everyone else will react to it. Because an Uber driver is someone I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? This is just going to be someone fresh off the streets. So I get that live reaction to, to kind of gauge me into, okay, is this working? Is this not? Just like that.
Yeah. The The which brings me to the next question is how do you feel like artists need to partner with like big labels now, or because I know, like, for example, like Tyler Perry in movies, he's like, I'm not gonna work with the traditional establishment. I'm gonna create my own.
Hmm.
I think Jay-Z did the same thing, and these to try to own and control their content. Do you feel like do you feel like the artists these days need to partner up with labels, or can they use social media and just kind of the free, and I wouldn't say free, but the internet to gain an audience, gain their following, build a business.
Yeah, I mean, there are a ton of resources out there, to be honest with you. And I've even been approached by a label before. I won't say it's a major one. People just, they may not read the contract that's presented 100%. So I personally wouldn't say it's a good idea unless your business is already good.
Uh-huh.
Because typically you want to be in a position where labels come to you, and they're not going to come to you if you're not someone that's everywhere, that's well known. So I wouldn't say that it's a good idea unless you either already have a following, maybe you have some goals,
Uh-huh.
maybe if like someone like me, I probably wouldn't, just because I think it's important to learn the ropes, learn what you're doing first. And it's great to get, because if I want to, compare myself to even a great artist, we understand they not only have vocal coaches, they have a manager, they have people behind them. If I don't really have anyone behind me, I think it would make sense first to learn the business, learn what you're doing first, and then you can, step into that side. Because the contract I was provided, anybody would go crazy over it because it was a lot of money. But what people didn't read was the perpetuity part. If I'm not mistaken, that just means that they're going to kind of try to keep you revolving in the deal. So you're never going to really have that freedom you might want, but you'll have the money. And we can see from just looking at celebrities, some people have money, but they may not be making the best moves in the public light. And they might just be a little unhappy with the contract or the paperwork they signed. So I think it's really important to not only be able to read the contracts, but also understand your business, what your goals are. If you don't really desire, owning your stuff, yeah, sure, sign with the label because they're going to own it for you. But if you want to be, the macho man or the one in the face front of your operation, you might want to just, keep it to yourself and
Yeah.
go the social media route.
Yeah. I love that answer. Looking forward, what do you how do you see yourself exploring new musical styles, collaboration? What can your fans expect in the coming years?
Yeah, so I think it's important to understand that I think music is a volume game. So I want to be able to be a little more strategic with the music that I am releasing, make sure that, the group that's already listening, it's something that they like, to, a newer audience. If when it's presented, they can say, oh, wow, either I like it or it's not my taste. So I definitely want to be able to I want to take a little more time when I'm crafting. I kind of feel as if I'm going to just freestyle it, it may not be that good because it just came out really quickly. So, not only will I be taking more time, I'm going to also really try to promote myself a little more. Like, one thing I'm doing is printing out business cards with QR codes on them to my music. So now I can get more live reactions. I want to see if I can now go to other businesses so people can just hear me a lot more. And especially if it's feel good music, I want people to just do that, feel good. So if you can hear it a lot more, you can hear it in more places. I think that's going to be a great place to start. So they can just, hopefully, they can expect to hear me in cafes, bars, restaurants, maybe just on your stroll down the block or something like that. Hear me out of someone's car. So hopefully you're gonna start hearing me a lot more.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for.
And then the other question a lot of creatives get is how do you build an audience? Is it better like in person or a lot of gamers they're live stream, a lot
Hmm.
of musicians they live stream. What do you do?
I'll be honest with you. I am a diehard in person kind of guy. Like, that's why I printed out my business cards so I can say, "Hey, what's your name? Do you listen? What kind of music do you listen to? I do X, Y, and Z." Because I just think that personal touch, you won't really forget like that. And I'll give a quick example. I was in Vegas one time with a friend. It was a business trip. He had something going on. He allowed me to tag on,
Uh-huh.
and we went to a lounge, and I was passing out some of my cards. And I introduced myself to one of the servers there. I said, "Hey, my name is XYZ. I do this. If you have a moment, I'd love for you to check out my music," because we were talking a little bit before. So I just plugged it in at the end. I back in the next day. She remembered my name. She was very excited to tell me she listened to the songs. And I was like, well, I think it's best to just do it in person. But I'll be very honest, I did start online. There are a lot of music review shows, and that's kind of where I went, submitted my songs just to get some like a general audience. And then from there, of course, you'll just find your niche.
The other question a lot is I'm not sure which, but a lot of a lot of artists are utilizing technologies like tokens and tickets, and there's a new technology called NFTs. Or what are your
Hmm.
thoughts on that? Are you looking at that? Advantages, disadvantages?
I personally just think all the NFT stuff is a scam. Everyone gets on me about that. They're like, "No, it's not. You can," and I know you can actually see some traction through it. I'm a little too ignorant is the best word I got. I have no clue what's going on in that world. I just know some people are making money, and where you have winners, you will also have losers. And I just, I'll
Uh,
need a little more direction first before I could jump into that. But I've heard that people make a lot of money there.
yeah, it's like I said, I'm just always curious to hear artists' perspectives on new technologies and it's like the Wild Wild West, basically.
I'll do you one better, man. Someone showed me the other day there's a website where you can go on and make songs like using the AI. I
Oh,
was oblivious. I was like, there's no way you guys got me here freestyling every day. You know what I mean? I'll still freestyle just because I do like to connect more with what I'm doing. But the AI thing is amazing. I'll have to, you gotta, show love where you can. I gotta respect them. They did it, you
yeah,
know? So I'm
yeah,
surprised. I'll actually be surprised if a lot of the songs in the future aren't AI. I think working hard will be a thing of the past to be absolutely fair with you, if I'm being honest.
yeah, yeah. If the can use AI to, gain attention and traction.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that.
Because I use AI now just for my album covers. I do those myself, so I'll use it for that. Something visually, but like anything audio related, yeah, right.
How can people find you and check out your work and follow you and so on?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Bari McKnight on all platforms. Did you want me to spell it out or type it or?
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, for sure. So Bari McKnight on all platforms. I'm on your Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Deezer, Pandora, all of them, iHeart. And that's where on my Instagram is where I definitely put up little snippets from me in the studio. I'm on Facebook as well. I'm trying to learn to navigate that one. There's so many social medias out there that to keep up with. I'm on TikTok too, excuse me. And so you can check me out on TikTok and not Facebook, Instagram. Those are where I put up snippets from the studio. I'll probably introduce new songs, see if I can get a reaction from the world, and then we'll just take it from there.
Oh yeah. TikTok, how do you as an influencer, what are your thoughts on the future of the platform? Because I know
Yeah, I read Biden saying that he might ban it, right? Oh
yeah.
man. Personally speaking, I'm more of a Vine guy. I think TikTok is not as productive as some people say it is. However, for business owners who found success on TikTok, I don't want to discredit them at all because it's a world out there,
Yeah.
honestly. And to be able to retain someone's attention for more than 3 seconds is incredible.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take anything away from anyone who's been found success on TikTok. For me though, I don't. I'm not a fan just to kind of stay. It's like Instagram, I don't want to be there too long because then I'll just catch myself scrolling and looking at stuff I don't need. So me personally, I think it's a big distraction. However, I don't want to take away from anyone that's either learned or built something successful using the platform.
How can people contact you, follow you, reach out to you, etc.?
Yeah, yeah. Follow me at Bar McKnight on Instagram. Same with Facebook, TikTok. I know those are social medias, and then Bar McKnight will all is the name that you can plug into your streaming services. You can find me out, check me out there, and I believe that's everything. Hopefully, I didn't miss any of the social medias. I know there's a billion now.
Yeah, definitely. And for all the audience, let's thank Bari for coming on and be sure to give his like and follow and thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, I appreciate it, Chris. Thank you. Have a great weekend, man.